Good day, everyone. Before we start our discussion for today, let me ask permission to introduce myself. So I am Jomar Tagalog, your instructor for today. So before we start our discussion for today, let's recap our previous topic. So last time, we tackled all about the probability, the simple event, the sample space. So that's all we tackled last meeting. So now let's proceed to our new topic, which is compound probability. So as you already know the probability, right? It means that probability, it is a field of mathematics that deals with a chance, right? We know that probability have a formula which is the PA, which is the probability of that event, is equal to the number of favored chance over the total number of outcomes, right? So now let's proceed to compound probability. So what does mean compound probability? Well, it is the probability of two or more events happening together. So which means not only one, but two or more than one. So that's the meaning of compound probability. So in a compound probability, there are two different events. The first one is the independent event. Does independent event mean? So this means that one event does not affect each other. For example, I have a coin here. If I toss this coin, there's a probability that we get a head and a tail only. So example of independent event. What is the probability of flipping two coins and getting all heads of it? So as you can see, there's only two conditions. Flipping two coins and getting all head of it. So it means you need to find the probability of the first coin before you get the probability of those two coins. So first, before we get the probability of coin, we need to find the favored outcome, right? So the favored outcome is that in a problem is getting all head. So it means in a coin, we have sample space of only two, which is the head and a tail, right? So in a problem we look for only the head only. So it means in the sample space we only one head in flipping one coin, right? So it means, so let's recap the formula of sample event. We know that the formula of sample event is the number of favored outcome over the total number of outcome. So the favored outcome of this is the head getting a head. So in a flipping a coin, in getting a head, there's only one favored outcome, and the total number of event is only two. So it means the probability of one coin is only 1/2. So the first probability is only 1/2. So this is the first probability. So since we know the first probability, we need to get the second probability. So in a problem, state that flipping two coins and getting all heads. So it means we need to find the same coin. So it means we need to multiply by itself. So we need multiply by 1/2 times 1/2, because in a problem state, the probability of flipping two coins and getting all heads of it, right? So it's stated there's only two coins. So that's why we need to multiply by itself only. So 1/2 times 1/2. So this is the probability of first event and the probability of the second event. So multiply those two, we get the probability of 1/4. So the probability of getting two heads in flipping two coins only have 1/4 or 25% probability. And now let's proceed to the dependent event. So let me introduce you the formula of dependent event. So the formula of it, I think it is the same to independent, but there's a little change of it, which is the second. So as stated there, the formula of dependent event, the probability of those two events is equal to the probability of first event times the probability of the second event given the first event. So which means that adjusting the probability of B, consider the first head already occurred. So as I said earlier, total outcome is not the same in the first probability. So example of independent event is this. What is the probability of picking pink star and a green star, assuming that the star are not replaced back in the jar. So this is a jar I presented earlier. So in the jar there's 40 pieces of star inside. So this is the information of the color inside the jar. So as the problem stated there, what is the probability of picking a pink star and a green star? So there's a two event here, this already, and a condition of it. It states that assuming that the star are not replaced back in a jar. So first, let's compute the first probability, the first event, which is the picking of pink star. How many pink star in a jar? So there's only 12 pink star inside the jar, and the total star in a jar is 40. So it means, let's use our previous topic, which is the number of favored outcome over the total number of favored outcome. So our favored outcome in this, which is the pink, which is 12 pieces of star. So which means 12 over the total number of outcome is 40. So this is the probability of first event. But as you can see, this 12 over 40, we can reduce it into lowest term. So we can reduce it by 4. So we need to divide both upper by 4 and lower by 4. So the result will become 3 over 10. So that is the probability of picking a pink star. So now let's proceed to the second event, picking a green star. So the first event is 3 over 10. Now let's compute the second event, which is picking a green. So in our information, I provided earlier that only one green in the jar. So it means 1 over. Since we pick one star inside the jar earlier, so the total number of outcome in the second event will reduce by 1. So 40 minus 1, it will become 39. So that is the probability of the second event. So now let's compute the probability of picking a pink star and picking a green star. So to come up the probability of those two, you need to multiply those two events as the formula stated there. So multiply those two, 3 times 1, 3, and 10 times 39, 390. So as you can see, we have the probability of 3 over 390. So is this the final answer? So no, right? Because we can reduce it into lowest term by 3. So we need to multiply it by 3, the numerator and also the denominator. So divide both sides by 3. So the result will become 1 over 130. So this is the probability of getting pink star and green star inside the jar earlier. So now it's your turn to solve the problem. So I have a two problem here. So you guys, you can solve this problem in your own. So you can pause this video to solve it on your own. First problem is calculate the probability of rolling a 2 in a dice and flipping head in a coin. So now, are you done? So let's check your answer whether it is correct or not. So first, let's identify the problem here. So the problem states that the probability of rolling 2 in a dice and flipping a head in a coin. So let's identify the two events here. So the first event is getting 2 in a die, and the second event is flipping head in a coin. So let's get the probability of the first event. So the first event is 2, since rolling 2 in a dice is in the first part of the sentence. So the probability of 2 in a dice. So what is the outcome? I mean the sample space in the die. So in the sample space in a die, we have only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's stated here that getting 2 only. So which means from the sample space, we only have 2 in the sample space. So the favored outcome in the problem is 1, and the total number of outcome based from the sample space is 6, since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the sample space of a die. So now we have the probability of first event. Now let's proceed to the probability of the second event, getting a probability of second event. So first, we need to find the sample space of a coin. So the sample space of the coin is only 2, the head and the tail. So the favored outcome, or what we need to find, is getting a head. So which means getting a head from the sample space, only 1 outcome only, or 1 outcome. So from the sample space, we only have 1 head, and over the total number of outcome, which is only head and tail, which is only 2. So we have the probability of the second event, 1/2. So now to get the probability of those two events, we need to multiply it based from the formula of independent event. Because as you can see, the first event didn't affect the second event. So we need to multiply it. So 1/2 times, 1/6 over 1/2 is equal to 1 over 12. So this is the probability of the first problem. So you got it right? Now, this is the second problem. Calculate the probability of drawing a face card and drawing a red card from the remaining deck. So your timer starts. You can pause this video to solve this problem. So are you done? So let's check your answer whether it is correct or not. So let's identify the problem first. So calculate the probability of drawing a face card and drawing a red card from the remaining deck. So which means we need to identify the given here. So let's identify the two events. So the first event from the problem is getting a face card, and the second event is getting a red card from a deck. So now let's identify whether it's dependent or independent. So from the problem here, there's a clue here that we can easily detect whether it is dependent or independent. The key keyword from here is the remaining deck. So which means from this keyword, we can simply say that this problem is dependent event because the second event will become dependent to the first event. So now, before to calculate the event of this problem, we need to find the first probability from the first event. So first, we need to identify the probability of first event of getting a fish card in a deck. So before we need to find that, let's talk about the sample space of a deck. So as you can see, there's in a deck of card, we have alas, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, King, Queen. So that's the sample space of it. And there's different color, the red and black, and there's different shape also, the spade, the club, the heart, and the diamond. So the total sample space of it is 52. So from those sample space, including the 26 red card and 26 black card, also including there the 12 face card. So now, from the problem getting a face card, so as I said earlier, from the sample space, the favored outcome of the face card is only 12 over the total number of outcome, 52. So from this, is this the final answer? So no, we can reduce it by 4. So we need to divide both sides by 4. So 12 divided by 4, it will become 3, and 52 divided by 4, it will become 13. So the first event have 3 over 13 probability. So now, let's proceed to the next event, which is drawing a red card from our remaining deck. So based on the formula, the probability of dependent event, which is the probability of 2 events, is equal to the probability of first event times the probability of the second event given the first event. So from the first event, we need to deduct 1 from the sample space because we already get one card from a deck. So from the total number of outcome reduced by 1, it will become only 251. So now we have the total number of outcome of the second event. Go to the favored outcome of the second event. So which means the red card. So from the sample space, we only have 26 red cards. So which means 26 over 51. So this is the second probability. So to get the probability of this problem, you need to multiply those two events. So erase it. So P, the probability of first event and second event is equal to the first event, which is 3 over 13, times the second event, which is 26 over 51. So to easily solve this, we need to reduce the number what can be reduced. So based from the given here, we can reduce 3 and 51, also 26 and 13. So we can reduce it by, from the denominator 3 divided by 3, it will become 1 over the times here. Here also 51 divided by 3, it will become 17. Now let's reduce also the 13 and 26. 13 divided by 13, it will become 1, and 26 divided by 13, it will become 2. So the probability of this problem is 2 over 17. So you got it right? So for summary, compound probability is the probability of 2 or more events, and there is 2 distinct events which is independent, which is one event does not affect to another, and also dependent event, which is the first event affect to another. So thank you everyone for listening to my class.